So then now I'll jump essentially to the metaverse. And the reason I took this example is not only because it is one of the latest trends that we see in the market, and it's also is a very, very strong application. It demonstrates multiple applications of AI for the digital products. And these are very representative set of applications in this space. And it encompasses a whole lot of variations of these AI applications. And then we can also discuss either through questions, or I will try to refer it through some of the examples in other verticals as well, or typical verticals that we talk about in the business space or startup space or even the enterprise space in India. So what is metaverse, right? In metaverse is basically looking at immersive experiences around activities. So these activities could be collaboration right now with a dominant virtual mode, kind of encouraged by the pandemic. Essentially, you people want to collaborate online, right? So there is a video conference is one way of collaboration. Where right now we are kind of, I am talking, you are listening, we'll have interactions. That is one way of collaboration. But can we have more deeper collaboration? So in an immersive space, that would be kind of more of in the direction of what a metaverse would represent. Then can we have social interactions? Can we have creative expressions in this perspective, which can give a more better interaction between people? And then there are lots of other activities that I'm going to describe in this perspective. So a metaverse essentially has the following properties. It emphasizes on activities, right? The creators can create those activities. So the whole idea in metaverse is to drive the creator economy and the creative economy, where it's a more democratized kind of a system, where people who have the creativity in art, we will have creativity in certain set of activities, whatever be the passion of the person, that can be presented and added to the metaverse in a very distributed fashion. And then that can be shared across a whole set of people within the metaverse, right? It is immersive experience. It's not a 2D experience, it's really a 3D experience. And I'm going to explain what that means. And then the creators essentially have the ability to link and embed that content, which is kind of evolving over time. So here are kind of layers of the metaverse architecture, where at the base, essentially you have the infrastructure, human interface. Infrastructure is basically, the 5Gs and the 6Gs and the chip technologies and the GPUs and so forth, which essentially help to improve the computing that is required. Because when you are kind of building an immersive experience, you have a lot of computation and rendering that needs to be done, right? And then also essentially fast kind of a network, which is with extremely low latencies and very high throughput, is what 5G and 6G are enabling, with 6G again leveraging a lot of AI underneath the whole infra for the 6G. Then you have the human interfaces, which are some of you might be aware of wearables, which are AR, VR wearables. And we have been talking about this, if you have been aware, for the last 10 years also, right? Then there is decentralization layer, where people essentially are able to leverage blockchain to provide a decentralized environment rather than a typical centralized environments that we have seen so far. There are these rendering engines, or spatial computing engines as we call, which are enabling all the rendering and the computation, which is the spatial computing layer. Then we have the creator economy, where the design tools are available and the people are able to create lots of experiences and put this in the metaverse. Then you have discovery and the experience, which I'm going to go over next. So here is one experience. All of us would have played 3D games, right? Fortnite and so forth. And this is really one example of it. And you really get totally into it once you start playing into it, right? So this is one very good example. Once you have an AR, VR kind of a glass through which you are playing in this game, you even have a totally, you're pretty much out of the world in this experience. Here are more examples where essentially you have, a collaboration, as I mentioned, in an office kind of environment or in a different environment. You have live music, right? Or you have live games or esports. And these live music is more of a recent one. Collaboration is becoming more mature as the video conferencing systems are kind of evolving, as you would have seen recent kind of updates from Google, Apple, and so forth. And esports has been there for, I think, quite some time now, and there are like massive esports happening. And so this metaverse basically makes it more impactful and makes it more kind of pervasive. So what are the mega trends that are shaping the metaverse? And then essentially I'll basically go into the AI daily aspects of it. So the main trend, one of the main trends is machine intelligence. So because AI has become very strong, and you have the computing and the infra and the networks and the cloud that is there. It is kind of AI is able to leverage all of this infra and essentially then kind of leverage that from the bottom of the stack and then kind of deliver these capabilities on top of the stack, pretty much kind of in the architecture that you saw. And then you have the rise of cybernetics, which means haptics and kind of interface, brain-computer interfaces through which, through your brain, you kind of control what is happening on the system, right? And I'm going to go into some examples of that. Then simulating the reality, basically you have like connecting with the actual kind of racing cars, with the actual data and maybe even real-time data. You're actually simulating a real car inside your system or the metaverse. Then you have blockchains, which are interesting part, though we are not going to cover that today. It's a topic by itself. And then you have the mainstreaming of virtual kind of things with the pandemic and so forth, and challenges by open platforms that are giving rise to more of that, along with low-code platforms.